Alright, so since the last video was about peaks downwards, this video will be about peaks horizontally. And the first peak I have is this one with a triangle frame here. And when raiders push from here, for example, they can't really see you and you have good vision to them. I think this is a good peak since it's kind of cost efficient and doesn't need that much space for the peak to make. And yeah, next peak is this one, kind of basic. You probably know about this already. You can also make it this where you can see on top of it as well. Compound, for example. Then you can use peaks here like this, so they are inwards like there. And also with a triangle frame or square frame, doesn't matter, you get the same peak as here, but a little bit tighter. And then you have this peak. This is kind of interesting. You can utilize this for many situations. You can peek from here, from top of it here, and also see very close to there. Minus side to this peak is kind of that the roof here is steep, so kind of hard to climb this roof here. Alright, so next I have this one, and this foundation here is wide gapped to here, and it just creates the peak with that frame there, and you can have like door or your entrance to the base here, for example, and then you have jump up here, and then you have this peak here, if you might. Then really basic, you have starter doors here or any doors front, and then you have peak to the entrance, so if there is door raid, really easy early game peak to that. Moving on to peaks that are a little bit higher. Let's go from here. This is kind of to the roof, however you can utilize this for anything. You would have shooting floor here and roof here, and then you have this peak here, then also very basic stuff. Then moving on, a little bit playing with these roofs here. You have this peak, very basic. Then you have this one, where you place a box here. You can see far down a lot. Then raiders don't really see you that much. And if you place this horizontal thing here, raiders will not see you from raid base if it isn't high. Alright, so next one is kind of same type of peak, but it's really just lower, so you don't need blocks for this. Nobody can really shoot your feet except from down here. Then a normal roof peak that a lot of people use. Many people use this with box, but it's incorrect since it's easy to hit your head with box. But when you place mixing table here, like this, people won't actually see your head when you're crouching here. People there will not see your head, so this is kind of good. You can also make it better, so nobody can shoot you from here, like this. And then you have kinda good peak down there. However, if you place this horizontal embosser, I can't pronounce that. However, you can't shoot through this, so yeah, really preference if you want it or not. Then when you have shooting floor or roof here, what you can do is you have peaks normally, like here, and then you have retake to the shooting floor or roof like this, so there's a gap in the middle I think this creates kind of nice retake since raiders can't really see you that much there. It's really hard to hit you there, so I think that's really nice peak. Right, so moving on, we have this one. This is not that good peak, honestly, but you can make it better. Or I don't know if it makes any better, but kind of gives like surprising angle to raiders. When they're coming from here, they don't accept to have any peak there, but you have a peak there, and you can put siren lights here to make the same peak as with here, and then you just can see there also. Then better ramp peak, this one, where these foundations here are wide gapped, watch here, and it creates this gap here. Then you have chain link door. You don't actually need this door, but I think it's nice. You just have this gap here. That I think this peak is kind of nice, since you can see very far with it, and the peak is kind of small, so you can also see downwards to there. If you have free hands in your base, freehand peaks, you can make also this one. This is the same peak but with freehand gap. Really just, I think this peak is nice. I tend to use it when I can, and yeah, I like it. Moving on, we have very basic, very basic peaks here with roofs. I think this peak here is kind of nice because the gap here down here is very small, and yeah, I like these peaks here. You can also utilize this spot for offset peaks like this, and then you have peaks also here. Here. Then what you can do is you have, for example, a funnel here. Then you would have the window a little bit further away, or the foundations, so you wouldn't be able to place a normal shooting floor here, or like normal window here. So then you place it a little bit further away, and you still get the peak like this, and you can also shoot to the sides. You can also place the peak here if you want, or anything. Then you can do the same thing as there. With this, you just have peak under this window here. Alright, so moving on, we have retakes. You would have your layer here, for example beds, and then you have spot, for example beds here as well. Doesn't really matter, or peaks like this, and then you have a peak to the roof. So this is better with HQM ramp, but actually it doesn't really matter. The reason for the HQM ramp is that you can shoot through this the metal ramp, so you can get surprised from the sides, so it's not really good. But you can also make the same thing with stone ramp, but then you have these blocks here, and really just use what you want. The metal also works great, and the reason for this peak here is kind of to be able to retake your, for example, windmills like this here, or any high thing here. Next thing we have something kind of fun. You place a counter here, then you place a barricade here. It makes a really great ankle biter peak. So really just can't really see. Oh, problem with Sank here is that doesn't like these peaks and deletes them, but yep. Kinda nice tip for you guys. And then we have this one. Kinda nice retake, since you can't actually see it there, or you can a little bit, but you're here. For example, you can't really see there. You can see from here perfectly. So that's about it. I don't claim any of these peaks. They're not mine, and